So please give yourself a round of applause, please. Good evening to our beautiful panelists. We're really glad to have you all here. You all really look very, very beautiful, very stunning and elegant. So you please give them a round of applause, please. I am Jai Tida, your host, or Tida and Jai. Which one would you guys prefer? Tida or Jai Tida? Anyone? Okay. So I apologize again for our delay because of the mic and everything, and some panelists were late too. So we really apologize. Before we go any further, I would like to compliment how each and every one of you just decided to spend your Saturday with us. That's a huge thing for all of us. And then we're really glad to have you all here. You all look really, really beautiful. Very, very, very beautiful. I cannot stop myself from saying it because you all are looking extremely, extremely beautiful. Please give yourself a round of applause. So before we go any further, we would like to include God in everything that we do, because there is no gathering that is complete without the presence of God. So we would kindly like to invite Honorable Usman Silla that will please come and lead us in the Islamic prayer way, and please give him a round of applause.
Good evening. I am very pleased to be called upon to come and participate by inviting Allah, God, to bless this event in the Muslim way. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin arrahmanirrahim maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Qul huwallahu ahad Allahu samad lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Qul huwallahu ahad Allahu samad lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Qul huwallahu ahad Allahu samad lam yalid wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin al-fatihi lima ughliqa wal hatimi lima hasahal nasir lil haqqi bil haqq wal hadi ila siratikal mustaqim wa ala alihi qadarihi midari azim. Inna Allahu malaikatahu wa yusalluna ala nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa sallallahu alaihi tasliman subhana rabbiyal izzati amma yasifun salamun ala mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Fatiha. Amen. May Allah bless this gathering. I also want to say a few words in addition to asking God to bless the event. I am someone who always encourages people who are trying, people who are yearning for something, people who want to be transformed, people who desire transformation. I am very pleased when I was invited by my niece Aminata to come. I was expecting I was going to be given a speaking role, but nonetheless, I know I would not have done better than those that I have seen at the front table. They call it high table, but for me it's lateral, it's front table, just to show the equity, the equality that I always encourage people to accept. This is a gathering I think is going to be transforming lives. I believe that the speakers are going to share with you their perceptions that is going to help you to see yourself and your environment better. I will not say differently, but better. As we gather here today to launch the Hasmina Bloom Circle, Bloom will become. I believe the objective of this gathering is to empower young women. I am very encouraged. I'm someone who like I said, support people to develop. I support efforts to transform. I support efforts to empower. I am running a Tibet center in Banjul, and it's all about young people. And of course, I have a particular bias for girls and women. So I'm very encouraged to be invited to come and see this gathering. The overwhelming majority of whom are women. It's very encouraging. Sometimes when you look at women in our society, you are taken aback because you see them being drawn into activities that eventually, end up changing them. They are utilized as appendages. They are used as stepping stones for others in the political arena, in social gatherings, in their communities, even in their relations. And I believe this gathering is going to, is one of the efforts that is trying to make a difference, trying to help women see themselves as instruments for transformation, as builders, building blocks for foundations. So I am very pleased to see young women here, and I'm sure each and every one of you is very brilliant, very bright. And I'm looking forward, I may not spend the whole time with you here, but I'm looking forward during my presence to be learning. I know I'm coming to learn more from you. I am very encouraged that there are young entrepreneurs, young scientists, brilliant accountants, brilliant lawyers, successful entrepreneurs. That's what I'm seeing here. Of course, there are elderly women who are here who are going to be guiding you. But this assures me I am someone who wants to champion or be part of those that are transforming the Gambia. We are not sitting idly by. The country is not at the best as it should be. But we are those Gambians who are not sitting by seeing the country fall apart. So any effort that we see, particularly women coming together to build their individual capacities, after which they will be helping their communities, we are very keen, we are interested in supporting. So we are always at your disposal. Wherever we are needed to come and deliver prayers, to come and talk, to come and share experiences, to come and encourage, we are available. We are at the service of our country. We are at the service of the world. So may Allah, the Almighty, may God, the Almighty, and those who don't even believe in God, also pray for this event to be successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Osman Siller, for those beautiful words and for those beautiful prayers too. Can we kindly welcome Mr. Akim Ola to lead us in the Christian way? Please give him a round of applause.
Praise the Lord. Praise the living Jesus. We thank God for this gathering, and I used to happy when the women are doing good. Everlasting God, we commit this program onto your hand, Lord. Take charge, Lord. Take control. Have your will in their life. Touch them for good. Let your will be done upon them. Let your name be glorified. At the end, they shall give glory and honor and give testimony to you, Lord, in the powerful mighty name of Jesus.
Thank you, Mr. Akim Ola. Thank you so very much. I'm in no doubt that Lord is with us now, and it has always been with us. So, from there, I would like to talk about this Jigen Jamba. I personally call her Jigen Jamba. The powerhouse behind this community. Behind everything that we have seen here. I mean, as a Coca Kadra, the community was built on a dream. She had this dream of saying, women deserve better with their finances, with their bodies, with their mind, and how they choose to walk, or what the different type of areas of life that they want to walk in. So she decided to bring this community up. First, in WhatsApp, she created a group chat saying, I want each and every one of you to add a member that you want. Or this space is already open for each and every woman to be part of this community. She is ready to invest. She wants to help. She's ready to support. She gives her time, motivational speaks, and quotes every week. She does her best. She's willing to help, and then she's willing to give, be it financially, being emotionally, in any way that she can support women, she is involved in it. Back then in 2025, when I met her around January, I just saw her. Aminata, you look very good. And then she started smiling. She could have said, no, I should not talk to this small girl. Maybe she doesn't want to talk to me. Because she's already all there. Because that's what we imply here in this community. A woman that have already figured everything out, helping someone else that is yet to figure everything out. Or a woman that is already there, but is in her standard position. She doesn't know where else to go. She's just at the corner that she's stuck. She doesn't know where else to move. So this community was built for her. So when I saw her, I told her we have this initiative of the Gambian Girl Power that we organize annually. She decided to help. She decided to give her everything that she had. She decided to invest in it, be it her time, her finances, because it's not easy to see women that are willing to do that for another woman, or see another woman doing that in a community like the Gambian community that we're here in. Sorry, we all know how it is like. But this community was built for women to support another woman. I have $5, I should help someone with $5. Not I have $5 and I saw someone with $5 and I should not help the other person with $5. So the moment that you have something and then you really want to help the other person, you should not see yourself that if she is blooming, I will not bloom alone. That's why we have sisters that need to bloom together. Because we are in a community, we all need to bloom together. We all need to help each other. So Aminata implies that. She's that woman that wants to help, that is ready to help, and that is ready to change. Change us in. I see this organization, it should flourish, mine should flourish, someone else's organization should flourish. Being it the BCW, being the breast cancer warriors, being each and every different type of organization is involved in. So please ladies, please queens, I'll call you all queens today because you all are queens. You all deserve the title queens. Because after this lunch or after this team that we're talking about or going to discuss with our beautiful panelists here, you all are going to be wowed. And if you're in a standard position, not knowing what else to do, or you are beginning to find your ways in life, you're really going to figure it out after this session. So please give yourself a round of applause and welcome Aminata.
Wow, I think I'll use this. Am I laudable? Can everyone hear me? Okay, that was such a powerful introduction. I honestly did not expect that. One thing I did was promise myself not to get emotional today. So all the tears have to go back in. Sorry, I'm not laudable.
No, I just want to mic you up.
Okay, sure. That's good. Sorry once again, just to welcome you all again, beautiful queens. I am so happy and honored to have each and every one of you today. And of course, we have to honor our amazing gentlemen who joined us in our midst. My uncle earlier was saying that he did not see a speaking role. Don't mind, guys, I come from a political family and we're all speakers. We talk a lot. So, but I wanted this to be solely a women's event. It wouldn't truly be a women's event if we are giving people like my uncle, of course, the role. So thank you very much. Tida's introduction was a bit emotional for me. Once again, for those of you that don't know me, I am Aminata Koka-Habre, and I am the founder and the heart behind the Hasmina Bloom Circle. Hasmina Bloom Circle started from a place of purpose and passion. So to see it being received in this big way is truly humbling. My heart is so heavy right now, but in a good way, because it's not easy to have a vision and have people embrace it and come to it. So thank you so much, beautiful queens, once again for being here, and our gentlemen as well. Just to give a brief history of what we have done for the past 1 year. We're a year old, by the way. So this is an event plus lunch, where we will be launching the organization formally. So basically, for the past 1 year, what we have done is form a community. We have a group chat full of women. We support one another. We're a sisterhood circle. We share issues that affect us individually and collectively in our growth journeys. And what we do also is send weekly motivational videos. We also discuss issues that are just stopping the growth of women in the society that we find ourselves in. So today, we wanted to move a step further, because motivation is beautiful, but then again, it doesn't pay. So we came to a realization that what can we do to make sure that we equip women with the tools, with the information that they need to be able to transform their lives. So I want each and every one of you present here today to leave here with enough tools, with enough information to be able to transform your life. When you look at our theme of today, to my sisters, building wealth in our seasons, we all know that each and every one of us are in different seasons of our lives. Some of us are in the building season. Some of us are in a stagnation season. We're stuck. We don't know where to go, where to move from life. We've done everything, tried everything, but we don't know where to move forward to. Some of us are in our flourish season. We have sown seeds, and now they've germinated, and they've grown, and now they're flourishing. So we're in a flourish season. Some of us are in a season of rebuilding. Maybe we've built before, and then now just some unfortunate circumstance happened, and we have to rebuild all over again. You must all agree with me that each and every one of us here is in a different seasons of their lives. When it comes to wealth creation, there is no one size fit all. Everyone's journey looks different. There might be the little nuance, the little similarities here and there, but there will be the nuances as well. So which is why we have the theme today, to my sisters, building wealth in our seasons. So I want each and every one of you present here today to take the current season that you are in your life. Whatever this amazing, beautiful powerhouses in their own rights are coming here to discuss with us, use it and apply it to your life. Apply it to your current season, and make sure that it's a tool that guides you and transforms you to your higher self. So thank you so much once again. Without further ado, I would just love to introduce our amazing panelists who've joined us here today. From my far left, I'll start with someone who is a legal practitioner. She is a human rights lawyer and a transformational justice expert. This person has been my friend for over decades. She's been, it's gone. Is it on? Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. She's been my friend for over decades now. We literally grew up together. She's such a sweetheart. We've achieved things together, cried together, done a lot of things together, and today I'm so honored to have her here. This is no other than Miss Fatou Bintou Sala. A round of applause for her, please. And next up, we have, this person is someone that I admire from afar. It's such a powerhouse woman that has built such a brand, a powerful brand for herself, that I literally look at her and literally admire her so much, and she doesn't know this. But one thing I love about her, in the organizing of this whole event, I remember just sending her an email to pitch about this thing. The first thing she did was, take my number, I want to hear from you. So we got on a call. and then we spoke at length, and then she was so ecstatic. What I love about her is she's a girl's girl. Because it's important as women to be each other's keepers. It's important to be a woman's woman, a girl's girl. So this person was so supportive throughout the organization of this event, just encouraged. Just today, she was asking me how I'm feeling, and I said, well, anxious, because events are not easy. Technical issues happen. We just experienced some, and we are apologizing, by the way, for the delay, because we had some technical issues. It's not that we want to waste your time, so do forgive us. These things happen, unfortunately, but I digress. Just to get back to the introduction, this person is a powerhouse, none other than Mrs. Jilan Fai Fraser. A round of applause for her, please. Yeah, so the next person on my line, she is the director of Fashion Week in Gambia. She is a Nubian queen, beautiful woman. This person I remember meeting about 2 years ago at a gala event, an award that my sister-in-law, Layla of Malakemis, was receiving. She invited us both. So we sat on the same table. I remember the very first time I met her, we had a conversation till my husband was saying, have you guys met before? Do you guys know each other before? I'm like, no, this is the first time. But because she's such a person that when you engage her in a conversation, it's of depth. The conversation is of quality. It's not just about the small talk. It's about what's necessary, what is needed. It's a conversation that's powerful, and every single time I talk to this woman, I leave feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, re-energized, wanting to do more. This person is no other than Miss Somanjai. A round of applause, guys. And now, the final person, last but not the least, this person I call at least 10 times a day. There is no person that I bark more than this person, because she manages all my corporate accounts, and I am where my money is. I'm sorry, but I am where my money is. So I literally disturb her and call her a gazillion times to talk about what new products they have in their banks for us entrepreneurs. What can we do? How can I expand my accounts? I literally disturb her life, and today I'm willing to share with her. I didn't want to share, but today I'm willing to share her with all of you, to come and share all the hidden gems that she's been giving me to support and help me in my entrepreneurial journey. And today, willingly, all of you, I'm sharing her with you. So this is none other than Miss Fatou Gay, and we're so honored to have her here. Unfortunately, we have one other panelist, but she's not here physically, but she's here with us in spirit. She is Dr. Hadinjai, founder of the Gambian Girl Power, a powerhouse, associate professor at the North Carolina State University. Unfortunately, she missed her flight, so she could not join us today. But she is surely here in spirit, because throughout the organization of this whole program, she was with me. She has been such a support. I can't begin to thank her enough. She is definitely a top girl's girl, and I appreciate having her in my life. So ladies and gentlemen, these are our panelists today. So we're gonna come and discuss our team today to assist us embracing wealth in our seasons. And so just give us your ears, be comfortable. I'm sure right after the panel we'll get on to the food, and so that because the sitting has been long, so that you guys can get to refresh and just eat. But let's just start the panel so that we move and save time. So thank you so much once again. So to start, to begin. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. Sorry. Oh my God. I forgot to. Sorry guys, I'm not okay. Oh my God. How can Oli? Sorry guys. I'm just all over the place. You guys will excuse me. Event planning is not for the weak or the faint-hearted. So you guys. I want to introduce this lady. I mean, in the Gambia, when you mention her name, she's such an icon that when you mention her name, everybody knows her. This woman, one thing that intrigued me about her, with all the status that she has, 5 times beauty queen. She represented the Gambia 5 times on international stages. This woman, she's a PRS expert. She's the PR and marketing at Gambia Limited. And this woman, what I love about her, as I remember years ago, I used to be a lab technician, by the way, before getting into business. So I was working at a clinic, and she came in with her mom. She came in with her mother, and then we met there. But just her humility, the way she approaches and talks with people, that's what drew me to her. And one thing that really, really solidified our relationship is when I lost an aunt of mine sometime in 2018. I was in grief mode. It was so heavy for me because I loved my aunt so much. May her soul rest in peace. I just remember writing a tribute on Facebook, and she reached out to me, and it was so consoling towards me. She narrated that she went through a similar situation with her aunt, and throughout the grief period, she was my support system. This lady I love so much, I admire. This is none other. I love to call her D, the Olitao. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Olitao. Yeah, so thank you. So, and we do have a beautiful extra, by the way. I want to honor her. So we do have an extra panelist on the way, beautiful Umi. We're happy to have you here. So without wasting any more time, we just start. So ladies, I just wanted to ask, when it comes to our theme of today, building wealth in our season, one thing that really drew me into coming up with this event is because as women, we usually engage in the small talk. When we see each other, we're usually like, oh, yeah, you're nice, you look so good, or what are you wearing? And having men in my life, my husband, my uncles, and all of that, I have realized that men don't do the small talk. They don't. They're all about building. They're all about building. They're all about conversation. So I'm like, as women, it's okay we do the small talk. It's nice to compliment one another, you know, but when do we move past the small talk? When do we talk about building? When do we talk about things that really matter? So today, I just wanted to start. I'll start with Fatu. When it comes to the topic, building wealth in our season, what does that currently mean? What does it mean to you personally? Yeah.
Okay, you started with me. But before answering your question, I'd like to greet everyone in the audience. Thank you for making it to my sister's event. She spoke really, really highly of everyone, but knowing Ami, I can't even begin to start talking about you and how really, really proud I am of you pulling it off, pulling this event off, and just seeing you live your dreams. We grew up talking about these things, really. We grew up talking about inspiring the younger generation, doing big things, and I see you in that season. You are my role model right now, and I'm so, so proud of you. And the love I have for you is just unsurmountable. You talked about people being girls, but you are the major girls. Like, she would call me every other month to give me a client, and I'm like, Ami, like, I'm a human rights lawyer. I don't really go to court. She's like, no, you have to. You have to do this, you have to do that. So I really appreciate that, and I would say we can emulate that really. As sisters, as women, as girls, we need to support each other. And I would pick up from where you just started, that men they do the small talk, they watch football, they go around, but they're about their money. When it comes to money, they don't play about that. They don't. And I think we should start emulating that as women. We need to be serious about building wealth. We need to be serious about protecting the wealth that we are building. There's an issue with, okay, I've made maybe $1 million for the past 2 years, but how do you multiply that? How do you protect that? How do you ensure that there's a proper succession plan? How do you move that wealth to other people, to your family members, to your daughters? Please let me know how much time I have before I start ranting.
It's okay.
No, but how much time do we each have?
The panel is 1 hour. It's a conversation.
Okay, so we can go on and on.
Yeah.
Remind me what my question was, please.
What does building wealth in your season mean to you?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. Like she rightly said, I'm a lawyer and I'm into human rights, so we're not really making that much money. And I'm hoping to learn from these brilliant entrepreneurs. So we are out there trying to protect the rights of women, the rights of the vulnerable, transitional justice. So I'm not really in that season of building wealth, but this is really going to inspire me. And I mean, I could possibly just jump into a few tips that I can share in terms of just when you start building wealth, the things that you need to consider, especially legally and financially, really. I know a lot of women start informally. You start your business at home, you start your business in the community, maybe you're selling chicken, ebe, whatever it is. But I feel like we should start dreaming bigger than that. Each person in your own space, you can create magic, really. You start with ebe in Kololi. I mean, why not go to Banjul? Why not expand? There's nothing stopping you from expanding. And the way we can do that is also formalizing the process. Try as much as possible to formalize it. Register your business, whether it's a sole proprietorship, whether it's a limited liability company or a partnership. Try and register this business. Have a separate bank account. That will really help in terms of just separating the funding. And then you can also apply for donor fund or loans or whatever it is. We need to start thinking big. Like, we need to start thinking in that small capacity of just, okay, this is just a neighborhood kind of like venture or a Gambian venture. What is stopping us from going to Senegal or going regional or going to, West African countries and selling our stuff? So that's just what I would like to say. I don't have much from a personal point of view, as I'm not an entrepreneur. But yeah, that was what I wanted to share in sort of starting. But I'd like to hear more, and then it can come back to me.
Thank you so much, Fatu. Yeah. That was so powerful, ladies. And as Fatu said, in building wealth, it's not just about creating the wealth or building. It's about also protecting what you're building, because it's really important. And as women, I think we sometimes tend to attach emotions on things we do, and we will start a business, a partnership, and not formalize it, and realize that we're deep into people who just want to drain and eat us, and then at the end of the day, someone's saying thank you, and at the end of the day, we end up regretting all those time that we had the chance to legalize and make everything protected what we did. So that was very, very key. But just to start off, I feel like wealth creation, like I said, it's a personal journey. And I want to also delve into our money stories, because I feel like the way we have grown up sometimes shapes the way we think about wealth. There are women who think that wealth is not attainable, unfortunately, because of their circumstances or where they've been. So I just wanted to delve into our money stories, because for me personally, just to delve into the question itself, I grew up with a single mother, because I lost my dad at a very young age. But one thing I have seen my mother do is, because she was also an entrepreneur, so she's a seamstress by profession, but I've seen her over the years do even events. Just the other time in the organization of these things, I was telling her, you remember that time you organized Zimba and you asked us to be on the gate to sell tickets by that young age. So growing up, seeing her being a go-getter, knowing that she was building with this man, but unfortunately he died, and now as a mother, she can't just sit down. She has to do something to provide me for the life that she wanted me to have. So I've seen her get into so many ventures, buying cars, to have a taxi business, and all of that. So growing up,
we can postpone it a little, because if it's getting there will be no writing for the Canva and the painting.
Yes, we could.
And then the mic guys said that you should use one mic so that you can have it under the camera. If not, it will not show it.
Okay. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, I grew up seeing a mom who is a go-getter, who hustled out and gave me the life that I deserve. But also I've seen the other side of things, because I remember my mom supporting me throughout my life, but I remember also facing sometimes in school, you remember how they used to call out people for late, like if you've not paid your school fees and you're late. So I remember this one time, I've never been driven out for school because of school fees, but I just remember this one particular time that our principal called me and said, Aminata, your school fees is a bit late. We don't want to drive you. Can you call your mom to come sort us out? And I remember the very first morning, my mom came and settled the bill. And knowing that she was an entrepreneur, and me being an entrepreneur, We know entrepreneurship, sometimes cash flow is an issue. The way money comes in and the way money goes out is not the same rate. So for me, growing up to see my mom always doing above and beyond, and then just providing. I grew up in a really humble setting, but I have never felt lack because of the kind of mother I have. So that alone shaped my mindset. That alone shaped my mindset into thinking that if my mom could do it alone, I think I can do it. I can do better. I can do it to the point that my kid does not even have to go through being called to say, remind your mom for the school fees. You know, I can do better. So which is why it's important for each and every one of us here to hear from these amazing women. And I would like to ask Soma, because wealth building or wealth creation is all about mindset as well. And Soma is a life coach as well. Life transformational coach. So Soma, I just wanted to ask, as we mentioned, wealth creation starts in the mind before it shows up in our bank accounts. So looking back at your own personal journey, your money story, what mindset shifts were necessary before you got to this level that you are right now? What mindset shifts did you need to have?
Okay. Again, thank you so much for asking us to be part of something that means so much to you and that we hope will mean so much to everyone else who's here. I think it's such an important part of the mindset to serve our communities. We are our communities, and that's the first mindset point that I'd like to put out, that a lot of people think that service is something you don't do when you're looking to attain money. And I think one of the mindset shifts that I have come to through other people serving me and helping me along that journey is that you sharpen your craft and you sharpen your ability to make money by serving. This is how you build trust, this is how you build your network, and this is how you build yourself. That resilience is the one thing that everybody who you look at and think they have a lifestyle that I would like to achieve has first. It's not that they have more money, more opportunity, and even though we're talking about gaining money, losses are a huge part of gaining assets. And this sort of discussion about season is part of that mindset, to be in the season of even when you're losing, to learn from that, even when you're giving, to make that an opportunity to be able to build what you have. Each time you give something out, it's about putting your whole heart, your whole soul into it, because that's building your brand. This is one of the things that we're talking about, ownership. When you're talking about building a brand, it's not about having an office, it's not about having a branded car, it's not about billboards, which are great. It's about having the type of business where people can trust you with their service, with their money, with their time, and with their effort. And this is probably the most important part of mindset. We'll get into it a little bit more, and I think a lot of people are like, what's a life coach, what's coaching, and why would people spend on that? I was one of those people, and this is the season that I'm in, is that learning from the people around me in order to build assets, and again, we're going to talk about that a little bit more, is one of the key things, and this has helped me achieve financial things that I never thought were possible for me. I have moved from the UK, from a legal background, so I hear you, sis, we're in this together, and left the law, which mortified my parents. They still sometimes ask me when I'm going to set up a legal office, and sometimes I ask myself. But I've moved from a mindset of giving my time for money. The legal stuff I do is more in line with what you do. It's about helping others brand themselves, and a lot of making change in the communities that we're in. But it's helped me have that mindset of understanding that what you have built, you should protect. And you protect that here first and foremost. It's helped me understand that there's seasons that you go through when money's not going to come in, and that's okay. but understanding that when you've built what we keep referring to as assets, that these are things that are going to pay me whether or not I'm in a position to be able to give my time, whether I have clients, whether I don't, and understanding that the seasons that have come before me are from people who have had a money mindset that I don't have. I've had the immense privilege, like you have had, to learn from entrepreneurs, people who will give up everything they have for that opportunity to earn or to learn the art of business. And again, just to kind of recap and round that off, I think that the mindset of understanding that if people can trust you and you can trust yourself, keeping your word to yourself is one of the most important entrepreneurial mindsets.
Yeah.
And again, these all sound like very airy-fairy concepts, but we will go into that a little bit more.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Soma, for mentioning that. And one thing that you also mentioned that I love so much is personal branding. So I will turn on to Oli and ask, because Oli is someone who's built such a personal brand for herself. I usually give this example. When you look at the New York stock market, you see all of these companies that people buy stocks from. You see companies like Apple, you see companies like Tesla, you see companies like Meta, and you know these companies, but you also know the people behind them, the people that own these companies. You know the Mark Zuckerbergs, you know the Elon Musks, you know all of these people. So that's because they've managed to build a personal brand for themselves. So as you're building too as women, it's important to build a personal brand alongside it. And this person has built such a personal brand for herself that I just want to ask Oli, what does the importance of personal branding in building wealth or wealth creation?
First of all, is this on?
Sorry, hello? Okay, use this one,
Sorry, we're going to limit your mics so that we can get good sound.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Good evening, queens. Good evening, ladies. Thank you, Aminata, for having me here. I'm so happy. I've seen so many familiar faces walking in. From you, of course, to the ladies up here, to some people around here. Lena, I've even seen a classmate that used to bother me a lot. You know who you are, Annie. So this feels like family. For me personally, I think my season, time after time, would be, if there was a name that would be dubbed with me, would be a comeback. I'm one of those people that I don't look like my struggles, not in a superficial way. It has nothing to do with superficiality, material. I think it's just how I present myself. I believe a lot in self-preservation, especially where you're in a state where you have a lot of people looking up to you. I started in the fashion and the beauty industry from a very young age. I'll say maybe 17, 18, even before that, because my dad was a diplomat and he was an ambassador for more than 40, 50 years. And I grew up as an only child, traveling the world with my parents. And one thing they picked out from me at a very young age was that I'm very into the creative world. I was very into trying my mom's clothes, so I think personally for me, my character and self-preservation comes from my background. Like you said, a lot of things start from the mindset. Yeah. My mom is someone who is very peculiar. She's very shy, very quiet. She's not someone that you'd see going out. You wouldn't see her in any events, whether it's hell or whatever. She's a home person. I grew up also being a home person, even though I've been to so many places. My dad, being the diplomat, was the outgoing one. So I took parts of my mom, where I'm a very home person. I like to create. I like to be comfortable, but I'm also very diplomatic. And one thing that my dad taught me from a very young age was about protocol, and that people perceive you based on not only how you look, but your personal brand and your self-awareness. I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of seasons. There are times that people see me a lot doing things. There are times that I've disappeared for years and nobody knew where I was or what I was doing. And in all that, I was still self-preserving. But one thing I felt like that I feel like I owe, especially to young women. I have my daughter here sitting next to me. We've gone through so many seasons together. We're still going through stuff. Is that always put your first foot forward, your good foot forward. Life is full of issues. As women, we deal with a lot of things. I think we're our first worst enemies. We criticize ourselves. I think we should be our biggest fans and our biggest cheerleaders. I brought her because I want her to learn from each and every one of you. I want her to understand that some of the things that I build or I feel, it's not just me. It's something that I'm going to pass on, but it's something that every woman sitting here is going through as well. That's why I see she's listening to what you guys are saying. I'm happy that you're listening to things that I tell you, but you're hearing from other mummies and other aunties. And I think that is really important. You start them young. Yeah, you start them young. But for me, self-preservation and bouncing back, coming back stronger, it doesn't matter how hard you fall, what people are putting on you, the comeback is important. That's why I feel like I'm a comeback.
Oh, Queen, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Oli. That was such a powerful statement. Now, Fatu, you manage our monies. So you're very important, and the women here would love to hear what are some of the products or some of the things that you guys have in the bank that will help women develop, especially women entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, to develop themselves. Because most of the time, especially when it comes to the banks, they ask for asking for loans. They ask women for collaterals that they don't have. Unfortunately, a lot of women have not gotten to a stage whereby you ask them they need a certain loan to develop their business, and now they should bring land papers, or a lot of them are not there yet. So what are some of the things that you have in the bank, the products that you have that you know certainly women could start from, especially women who are really aspiring to be entrepreneurs? They've not gotten there yet, but they have the zeal, the passion to build something. What are some of these products that you can tell us all that could help a sister, a queen here, benefit her life?
Greetings, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is a great honor to be here with you. So today I will be talking about the financial aspect of Islamic literacy. So I'm currently working at Ajib Bank and account officer of Aminata as well. We all know that in all banks, being it Islamic or not, having loan there is not easy. You need to have collateral or guarantee. But there are some financial institutions also, we make it easy for you. There is something called the women's financing. Mostly Islamic financial institutions use that one. And I can use Hasmina as an example of it. Like, for example, 30 women of Hasmina come together. So now these 30 women are divided into 5 groups. And each group has 6 persons. So you know that 6 times 5 is 30, right?
Yes.
Now, each 2 groups will guarantee each other. I'm a group leader, and I'm not also a group leader. I'm not will guarantee me, and I will guarantee her. So, and we all know that when we guarantee each other, it will be very difficult for us to default. Yes, so that's how it's work in Islamic finance institution. So these people, they don't give money just like that. They give them also financial literacy every week, and these ladies also do their repayments every week, and they also save every week. So that's how that product works. And there is another product, handshake. We currently operating that at Ajib Bank. It starts from 30,000 below. You can have above 30,000. You know, 30,000 is small, but really it can start a business.
Yeah.
Yes. So normally that one, if I take a loan of 30,000, I need to pay that one within 3 months. And we are guided by CBG that every month from a salary account, we need to take only 40%, so that the person also can use the remaining in his or her workplaces or even at home. So this is how it works. For example, when my limit is 30,000, every month 10,000 will be deducted from my salary. So I can even have less than that as a limit. I can even have a limit of 10,000. So that's how it works, and there is no interest in it. That's the beauty of Islamic finance. They always promote businesses. So the only charges they do is 10%
on the loan.
Yes, processing fee of 10,000 of
10%.
Sorry. There is a sorry. Yeah. There is $100 fee. So for the handshake, there is just $100 processing fee. If you take 10,000 or 30,000, all of them are all the same. So we all have something to make clear. Islamic finance is not the same as interest. People normally find it very difficult to understand it, but they are very, very different. Interest means when I give you money, and when you are to return me my 5,000, you add another thing in it, and that one is not ethical. It will make the rich richer and the poor poorer. So that's why, you know how it's operating in Islamic banking. They will buy a products for you, and you will be paying in installment. For example, you want to start a business like buying clothes, and you don't have capital. The banks, they can buy those goods for you, and every month you will be paying in installment, and the bank also will make clear that we buy these goods for you at 20,000, right? And we will add our profit of 5,000 or 2,000. That one will be very clear before
signing.
Yes, before signing.
Yeah.
So if everything is clear and everything also is very understood, then we start doing it. Every month you pay in installment. So that's how it works.
Thank you so much, Fatou, for that powerful information. And I hope the aspiring entrepreneurs here are taking note so that they can benefit from all of these perks that Fatou is giving us here today. Now I'd love to move on to Gillian. Gillian, we know that when it comes to wealth creation, it have different tiers. You have the creation part, you have the part whereby you're investing as well. It doesn't, having your money sitting in the bank doesn't grow your money, unfortunately. So you being in the real estate landscape and being such a powerhouse in it, and when you might have come across these fears that women have when it comes to real estate and investing, usually is, I don't have enough right now, or I don't think I can do that. Share them, and and for the benefit of our guests who are here as well, just to translate what I just said in the local language also, it's just that sometimes women are risk averse. We see that investing is a good thing, but sometimes we're just afraid of taking that step, or we might not know or have enough information to know that we can actually do these things. It doesn't need you having $1 million in the bank. You can actually achieve some of these wealth creation tools. And Gillian here, I would just like you to tell us what are some of the real estate perks that you have that you can tell the ladies here today that they could start from, especially from an angle of people that are not earning much.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for having me here. Honestly, it's a great experience to be sitting amongst all these wonderful women whom I'm familiar with, except for you. And just wanted to say the fact that everyone sitting here is actually here, it's hopeful that Gambian women actually care about their finances and that they want to work on it. I like the theme. Not only are you focusing on finances, but mind and body as well, because it's a holistic approach. And that brings me to the point that we are responsible for ourselves and we are responsible for our finances as women. Even though our culture may teach us otherwise, that we should depend on men, I think we should change that mindset and start thinking that we are responsible for ourselves financially and start thinking as independent. Now, when it comes to real estate, it's deep inside of my heart, and one of the key things I'm working on now is access to affordable housing. I'm very passionate about this. And you said seasons of life, and we are all in different seasons. And when I think about this story, I look at, it's a concept actually by Jim Rohn. He talks about the seasons of life as in the weather. You look at the season of winter, when things get a bit dark, it's quiet, nothing is happening. Then you get into the spring, when you start to plant, start to look at ideas and what can I do? When you link it to real estate, you start looking at options to say, what can I invest in? Maybe in the winter season you had no idea, but let's say in the spring you start looking at ways. What can I save? What can I come up with? What can I cut out of my budget that I can put aside, for example? Then you go into summer when things start to blossom, and then you have the fall. So this is the mindset that I adopt in my life, and individually, I believe that property investment is one of the best ways women can start investing in themselves and build financial capacity. Land doesn't disappear. It doesn't depreciate. Nothing happens with the land except the fact that it appreciates and adds value. If you look at land in Gunjur 5-10 years ago, it's $100,000, $200,000. A plot of land today is now $500,000, $600,000. This is one of the best ways you can actually save by investing in property. Now, many people have that fear. I can't afford it. It's too expensive. Where am I going to have a deposit? And this is where most people end up stopping and not actually moving forward towards achieving that. Because they're thinking there's $100,000 that they need to come up with, or $200,000 just to start. No, I'll scream. But you don't necessarily have to have that. For me, personally, at Go Properties, you can actually... Okay, it's okay? So for example, at Go Properties, we have different financing options depending on where you are, at what stage you are in your life. If you've saved up something, we'll definitely have an option where you can put it as a deposit and start with investing in a plot of land. If you come in and say, no, I can't afford a deposit, we can still look at a scheme whereby you're just paying what you have. For example, if the plot is $500,000, instead of dividing it up with a 30% deposit, instead of putting a 30% deposit, you don't have to do that. You can take the full $500,000 and divide it equally amongst the 24 months. So this way you're only paying about $25,000 or $20,000 a month. And it also depends on the circle. So in this circle, for example, we can come up with something to say anyone within the circle, because I believe in supporting women. And if you've come here to say, I want to find ways to make it happen for me, we're happy to open up those doors. It's nice to be in a position where I can sit here comfortably to say,
yes, queen.
I can comfortably say that if we have a setup, for example, with all the women that are here, and they come and say we have 30 people or 40 people that wanted to have a plot of land, we could come up with a scheme whereby it works out for everybody, regardless of what stage you are in your life. We have had hairdressers, for example, and they're making on average $15,000 extra a month, $20,000 a month, and they're buying plots of land because we're giving them an extended payment plan without deposit. So the first element I would say is to remove fear and the fact that you're thinking I can't afford to do it. Just remove that out of the way. It's a process. You start small and have it in your mind that I want it and I'm going to do it, rather than I have to be this age, I have to have this income range. No. The moment you start thinking in that way, I believe you've already shut yourself down.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Yolad. As you've all heard, there's nothing to be scared of, honestly, when it comes to wealth creation, because the lands are there, they're assets. Land is something that appreciates if you get it in a good location. It gives you ROI. They have different tiers or different offers that they offer people. If you're looking for immediate ROI, they have something for you. If you're looking for something long term, they also have something for you. So I think it's just about desisting from the fear and actually changing the mindsets that I can do it. This is attainable for me, especially for us Black women, because like I mentioned earlier, there's this notion that wealth is not attainable for Black women, and that's completely wrong. it's very much attainable for us. It's not going to come all one day, but over time we can achieve it, realistically. So just to go back to Fatu, I just wanted you to tell, Fatu to you, so I just wanted for you to tell us, because sometimes as women, like I said earlier, we attach a lot of our emotions into some of the things that we do. What will you advise women who are starting out, especially partnerships? Because I remember when I was expanding my company into the import and export, I came and I told you that I want to incorporate, because my other business was a sole proprietorship, that this one I really want to incorporate, and I want my husband to be an investor in my company. So I'm not going to say because he's my husband, we're just going to do family business. You incorporated for us, you divided the shares, he brought in his money, and we're working together. We have our monthly meetings when it comes, aside the husband, wife, the other. We have our meetings, we discuss about the company. He's worried about how his money is going, because as the shareholder, I'm also the managing director of the company, so I oversee everything. So what will you advise women, especially when it comes to building, and especially in partnerships, relationships, to just protect what they are building, just in case, because you never know. I don't pray for it, but what happens if in 5 years' time my husband comes and says, sorry honey, I'm getting a second wife, and now I hope you don't do that, please. That's my husband, by the way, guys, so I hope you don't do that. But what happens if he comes and says that, and now what the baskets that we've been building on, now what from two of us sharing it with our kids, we now have to share with 3, and what if kids comes through? Some of these things are things women don't talk about, but it actually happens in reality. So what will you advise us today to do in order to secure what we're building, that regardless of what...
Divorce, separation, death. These are things that are real. We can't, put a blind eye to these things. So you need to plan. And the first thing that any lawyer will tell you, or legal practitioner, or someone in the law, and my sister here would agree with me, is documentation. And that's what you have done. That was a perfect example. You both are in happy times, happy conditions. It's lovey. It was even at the beginning of your marriage. Most people would ignore, the kind of like implications later on. It's like, okay, he's treating me well, he loves me, he has my back. So there's no need to keep track. But keeping track is not really a question of distrust, or I don't trust you, or I'm hoping that something goes bad. It's just a question of, let us put things in paper, no matter how close we are, even between mom and child, father and child, husband and wife, put it on paper so that it kind of elaborates the terms and conditions. Because sometimes people say things and forget. We're just people, we're just human beings. Everyone is fallible. You can forget what you have said. People change. Your desires, you grow, you evolve. So it's always important to put things on paper. Now when it comes to going back to just the topic we left, the land ownership and all of that, I've seen so many instances where women would give sort of their investment to the people that they are married to, hoping that, this person has my back, this person will protect me. And when things go sour, you end up losing, because none of the documentation has your name. So as women, it's not that you're being fussy, or you don't trust your partner, or you don't trust the person that you're with, but make sure that every single transaction has your name on it, especially your full legal name. It's on papers, it's on receipts, you have witnesses. It's not about being fussy. We've seen it so many times. People change, people die, people evolve. Your husband here today, maybe he's here today, you've given him all of your savings. You buy a plot of land, his name is on the plot of land, even though you have invested. Unfortunately, he passes away. We don't pray for that, but unfortunately, he passes away. How do you prove that you guys own this plot of land?
Definitely.
So it's a very tricky issue, and I always say that make sure we're writing things down, and you're also doing your research as women. Nowadays, it's so easy to find things on the internet. You also need legal advice, you need a lawyer. If you cannot afford a lawyer, because legal services are also not cheap, talk to other people, talk to people who have been through it. This is a really great gathering where you can exchange contacts and network with other people who've been in the field. We have Jilan, we have Soma, all of them are open to sharing their contacts. I'm open to sharing my contact. We are willing to really help each other build, and at no cost. So try and be reaching out. Don't just suffer in silence. If your partner one day says, okay, let's do A, B, and C, seek advice. There's nothing wrong with seeking advice. It's not that you don't trust them. It's not that danga nyaka kilifa or anything like that. So jikar mo is a kilifa. Sorry, I'm speaking Wolof, but I couldn't translate kilifa to English. But for our guests here, it just means that there's this kind of like there's this notion that your husband is sort of like somebody who guides you and gives you advice. So if you kind of leave that and go to someone else to seek advice, it might be seen as somewhat inappropriate in our culture. But we're just saying, seek advice, talk to people who've been through it. We're very open, and this is like a great opportunity. I love that we have this lunch, this Bloom Circle, where women will share their experiences, the successes, the challenges, and then there's also intergenerational exchange of ideas. We have young women in the crowd, we have people who are seasoned and have been in the business for quite some time, and we have people just beginning. So I'd encourage everybody to use this platform productively, talk to people, do your research, make sure everything is being documented. If you have conversations over the phone or on WhatsApp, have screenshot things, record things just for any eventualities. So that's what I would like to say. And then back to the land issue. I hope I'm audible. I'm still audible. I can hear a lot of noise. Back to the land issue. Okay. It's really, really critical that women start investing in land. But you also have to be really careful where you're buying your land from. Global Properties is a really trusted real estate agency. Give them a hand of applause. I have not heard of any issues, any legal battles involving them. I have not. Maybe they are, but I've not heard. But we all know that some of the land areas come with a lot of issues, a lot of disputes. So you have to be really careful when you're putting your money and trying to buy land. Make sure you're doing your due diligence. Make sure you're involving a lawyer or somebody who really understands the process. Make sure your documents have your name. Make sure that the person who's selling you the land actually has the legal authority to sell you the land and also owns the land. Because we see many times where you're buying land and the person is not even the legal owner. Or the land is cheap, it's maybe 100,000 in Gunjur, and you're like, oh, bimom hamna, what's So let's be really mindful. Do your due diligence. Don't just buy land just because the land is cheap or it sounds really good. If it's too good to be true, there's something there. So let's be very careful. I think I'll end it here.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you so much. I'd just like to quickly go back to Oli. And by the way, we are working on the arrangement so you guys can eat. I'm aware that some of you are fasting and you will need to break your fast. So we're working on serving the food now so you guys can have your break your fast, and those that are not fasting, you can eat. So Oli, quickly tell us, because when it comes to personal branding, it sometimes sounds very intimidating. And what does building a personal brand truly mean for women today? Because a lot of women, they have the talent, but they feel unseen, they feel stuck. What are some of the things that they could do personally to make sure that they are putting themselves out there, personally branding themselves?
Thank you for that question. I get asked that question a lot. I think being consistent is very important. And sorry. I think, sorry about that. I think being consistent is very important, and standing on business. It depends on also what you're known for, what you're doing, what kind of business person are you? Are you a lawyer? Are you into real estate? Are you into coaching? As women, are you a stay-at-home mom? In whatever fashion you come, I think standing on business is important, being consistent, respecting what you're known for, because for example, there are certain expectations, obviously, that goes with certain fields and certain personalities. Unfortunately, as women, regardless of what you're doing, you're always expected to be somewhat like perfect or be seen as in a certain way that represent what society expects of you. But I think staying true to yourself and being, no matter what you're doing, I think respecting yourself, holding yourself in standards, because you never know who you're inspiring, you never know who's watching. For me, I'm one of those people that I can never let my guard down. I am very relaxed, but I'm always aware. I'm always aware about my surrounding. Being consistent is important. I will take Jilan as an example. Gambia is small. We all know each other somewhat. I think she's someone that epitomes that. A woman that is consistent in what she's doing. Some people are known for different things. Like I'm known for different things, still on brand, but have passion for real estate and being a strong, resilient woman, standing behind Saul, besides Saul over the years. I sometimes say that Saul wouldn't be where he is somewhat without Jilan. And that's, I think, in a nutshell, is being consistent and staying on brand. So she has evolved to the point where she is also a brand on herself as Jilan Fai, outside of Saul's shadow. That is staying on brand.
Yeah, thank you so much, Oli. And I'm so happy that you mentioned this, because I didn't want to throw her under the bus, but I think it's important that I mention this. I remember the first time I called and pitched this whole event and organization, she was so intrigued, happy to join us. But the first question she asked was, do you want me or do you want Global Properties? And for me personally, believing in starting small first, believing in delayed gratification, I decided to tell her that we need you. I'd rather have you come on than have Global Properties.
And I think I think that was a good choice.
Yeah, because I know if I have her now, next year, who knows? We might have Global Properties come on. So that's the importance of personal branding. When she said that, she doesn't know this, but I was like, yes, queen, because I love when a woman gets to that point to ask, who do you want, me or the company? And in her own right, she's built a name for herself, and she's equally as there's no Global Properties without her. So I love that for her. And hopefully next year we get to have Global Properties. So, Soma, I just wanted you to delve in a little bit. Like I said earlier, when it comes to wealth creation, it's a personal journey. And sometimes our experiences, where we come from, it shapes us, it shapes our mindset, it shapes us to believe what we think is attainable. So how has your own personal journey, your money story, shaped you into thinking that whatever you're doing right now is attainable and you want more? Because you're someone I talk to all the time, and I know what you have in store. Gambia is not ready for you. So now, tell us how your money story shaped you into this Soma and thinking that everything is attainable for you.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's a really perfect question, and it's and what I'd like to add to the conversation that we've had so far is something that I've noted. As a coach, clarity is the most important. And you were talking about the money stories that we give ourselves. You see, storytelling in personal branding and in life and in making money is one of the most important things. Again, the reason why it relates to mindset is because the stories you tell yourself teach you where you're going to go. Now, too often, we tell ourselves someone is in our lives that's amazing, and we look at them and think, that wouldn't work for me. That's something just for them. Now, this is a story. Each and every person we've all spoken to have had their seasons of lack, they've had their seasons of difficulty, and they've had their seasons when they've blown up or where things have been looking great to everyone around them. But the one thing that everybody you admire has is clarity. They understand the stories they tell themselves, and not because they're some sort of psychic who sits and delves into what they're thinking all the time, but because they're clear on where they want to go more than where they've been. And I think a little too often we're stuck with the stories that women don't have. That if you ask for clarity with your partner or your loved ones or your parents, that's not Sharia. that that's disrespectful. These are stories that we're told by people that benefit from our lack of clarity. If you're sitting with your husband or with your child or with your friend and you can't have a conversation where you can be clear on what you want, whether it's knowledge, whether it's building something together, or whether it's what you put out to the world, I think it's not that the world is working against you, it's that you have a clarity problem. If you think your goals are too big, or you think if you want $1 million house, if you don't have clarity on how you make each dalasi to make those $1 million, you have a clarity problem. So one of the things that we like to teach is goal setting. We like to make sure that a goal you have makes you quake in your boots. If it doesn't scare you, sis, you've already achieved it and you can easily achieve it. It has to make you scared to give you that, I don't know, what Chacha might call extra ginger, to really get you up and going. Sitting on your bed or looking out your window or scrolling through TikTok isn't going to give you those goals. But clarity on how many dalasis you have to make per day, per week, per month, per year to build that big dream is exactly what's going to get you there. And those stories will eventually retell themselves when you're the girl who will, again, go without something. Like for me, it was coffees and drinks. Lena, a great friend of mine, we often would say, I'm sitting at home, let's have a juice. When we sat down and calculated how much a juice, as wonderful as it was, would cost us as far as some of the things that we wanted to get. I wanted a new phone, Lena wanted a new camera. We also wanted to build Fashion Weekend Gambia into something bigger than it was. So, first of all, we had clarity. How much money do we need to make an event that's going to make us want to go to it? Nilan was one of the people that we came to. Clarity on people who have what we would like to receive to make our dreams more attainable. She gave us advice. She gave us billboards. She gave us marketing. And she gave us that little bit of support, like sitting in an office with someone where we were literally, oh my God, how are we going to ask? Gave us clarity on the goal. She pushed back on some of the things that we thought were great and gave us clarity on what we had to offer. Some of the things that we thought we weren't even bringing to the table, she gave us clarity on. Yeah, Oli, you gave us clarity on some of the big gaps that we had with the models. I remember some of the conversations that we had when we were kind of like looking and thinking, okay, why aren't certain things working? Why aren't we having the community that we wanted to have to build that huge dream? And you made it so clear in the way that you communicated with them, in the way that you remembered things that we didn't even know about models that we'd worked for 10 years, for 5 years. And again, that was clarity. Clarity on what they offered and what we brought to the table and what we could support. And I think people too often start by not being clear as to where they want to go. If you can't sit down and close your eyes for 10 minutes, and I'm not talking 1 minute and imagining a new car, imagine getting the keys. Imagine putting it in. What does it sound like? What does it feel like? If you can't have clarity on your goal, the day that TikTok comes, the day that you have overslept, or that you're feeling tired, those seasons when your energy just doesn't come as much as you want to do something, but you can't get up and do it. When life is lifing, as they say, when the demand's on you, you're cooking for the whole, for what feels like the whole community, you're putting other people's needs ahead of your own. If you don't have clarity on your goal, you've got no chance of pushing back. When I started having clarity on my goals, I would say to Dad, okay, like today, I had clarity on where I needed to be, what time I needed to be here. I said to Dad last week, Mangetago, like, you know, where you give, we talked about Kilifas, our elders, and the people that give us respect, so that I could say to him, you know, today, dinner's your deal. I'm not involved in that. I'm probably not even involved in lunch because I want to get ready. And that gave me a superpower. And this is one of the things that we talk about. When we set a goal, what I do is I write it down. I write it from a perspective of I've already achieved it, to give me that feeling when I start every single day. And it could be numbers, it could be I want to earn this amount, I want to swim daily, I want to be that girl who everyone looks at as, this is the girl who exercises, this is the girl that respects her body. This is the girl that keeps promises to herself. I needed to know what it felt like, so I write it down. I have a goal card, and it takes me probably about 7 minutes to read it, even though I know it off heart. Every single day, I start the day with that feeling and the clarity of who I want to be, knowing that if I do those little tiny building blocks, at the time that I've set on my goal card, which is the end of this year, I would have achieved these things. And the more times I do it, the easier it gets to be that person.
Definitely.
And that's kind of
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Soma. That was really powerful. And I think just to touch on some of the important points that you mentioned, I think access to mentorship is also really important. I mean, I go to a lot of events when I have a speaking engagement, and at least I will have 2 or 3 ladies walk up to me to ask for, how did you build this confidence? How are you able to look at a room full of people and talk? I say, because I've had mentors in my life. Unfortunately, though, I don't have a lot of female mentors. Most of them are male, the likes of my Uncle Usman Silla and all of that. I would love to have more female mentorship, because there are some things that you specifically need to ask your fellow woman. There are some things that I cannot ask my uncle, unfortunately. So what I want to urge each and every one of you here sitting today is also accessibility. Sometimes a lot of the girls complain that most people are not approachable, or they find it hard to approach people. I know all of you, again, you know, you are a people's person, but one thing I would love to just buttress again is just that once you are in a certain level, be accessible also, because there are a lot of girls who are looking towards mentorship. They want people to guide them, to help them, to hold their hands. So just to also I think now, people should eat now, because it's getting late. If people can have their food now, and we have our drinks as well. Serve the food. Sure. So people can eat. Just so that we save time. So we'll be serving the meals so that people, I know you guys are hungry. I apologize once again. Just so we continue our conversation. Jilan, I would love to ask, we all know that the difference between the haves and have-nots is the preservation part, because we all know people, almost everyone has an income that comes into your life. But what sets the difference between how that income is able to materialize or grow is how much of it you are able to preserve. So when it comes to wealth creation, preservation is definitely something very integral. What are some of the offerings that you have that really has ROIs that will help, you know, people or women preserve the wealth that they're trying to build?
Thank you very much on that. Before I answer that, just wanted to emphasize the support component and the fact that when you have a circle, it makes a big difference. I know you've talked about that. And then also just quickly on the goal setting, I actually brought my entire sales team. They're at the table right behind there, and I made them come here today. They're here raising their hands, so. And they'll tell you every single Monday we sit at the office and we talk about goal setting. they have a target that they need to meet every single month. And we break that target down by weekly and by daily. So they need to make sure that every single day, this is the amount that they're going to bring in. Because when they bring this money in, they've already determined what their commission is going to be. They work on salary and commission, but the amount of money that they make on commissions is enough to, it's more than my salary, put it that way. So they always wake up in the morning, and today it's like, how much do I need to bring in today? And that determines what calls they're going to make, what activities they're going to have. And when the week comes, I review on Monday. I said, okay, A, B, and C, you've reached your target. The rest of you, what's happening? So it just allows them to continuously work on something. So for me, I believe in goal setting, and I apply it across within my institution as well.
Definitely.
Now, when it comes to the offers that we have, it really depends on the capacity, to be honest. Because today, if you have a plot of land, maybe the range you're looking at is about $300,000 and above. Not everybody has that at hand. And you might say, if I buy a plot of land at 300, what is it going to give me? Obviously, it will take a lot longer to earn something. Maybe in the next 3 to 5 years, you can have maybe 200 or 300,000 in equity, which you can either sell or you can just mortgage it to the bank and use that money to build on that land itself. But when it comes to our portfolio, the apartment complex is really the number one, because today it's one of the most demanded products that we have. When you have an apartment complex within Senegambia area, for example, you're renting it out, and RRI is about between 5 to 7 years you can get the money back, because of the rental income is significant. You're looking at about $10,000 on an annual basis.
Wow.
So what I always advise clients that have the capacity to be able to buy an apartment is to do it early, do it at the beginning of the project, because at that time the prices are 20% lower at that stage. Then you actually build it up for the 3 years, you would have earned about 40% more than what you paid the price of the apartment. And then the annual rental income is also much higher. So I would say that would be the first product to promote. And we have been working a lot with the banks now, because for me, for property ownership to be available, it has to be affordable. For it to be affordable, there has to be financing mechanisms put in place. And now the banks are really pushing and offering 10-year mortgages. So you could literally own a property today and pay $20,000 a month on average. But it's just the deposits that are maybe tricky a bit. But in the future, obviously, I think the banks are going to realize the need for this and the demand. Obviously, we're working on a mortgage bank, which would have a very low deposit of 5%, and then a 30-year mortgage. But that's not going to happen now. But eventually, I think in the future. But when it comes to ROI, I would say definitely the apartments are number one, then obviously the housing, and then the land as well. So
Thank you very much, Yolanda. I just want to ask you to just still touch on, because I wanted to relate to someone sitting in the audience, maybe is a 9-to-5er and adding a salary of $20,000. How can that person be able to achieve their dreams of being a landowner? Let's say you're earning $20,000. I think that's the lowest salary in the Gambia. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. But if you're earning $20,000 and you want to purchase a land from Global Properties, walk us through the journey. How can, sorry Lena, you wanted to say something? That's not the lowest. What's the lowest salary in the Gambia? 10,000? 3,000? Oh wow. Okay. Okay, so now, let's say, is 5,000 a really realistic figure? 5,000? Yeah, 5. Okay, Yolanda, can you kindly walk us through someone receiving a 5,000 monthly, 9-to-5 salary? How can that person be able to build and attain that piece of land or the piece of property from Global Properties?
At the moment, my portfolio doesn't have that range, just to be honest. But what I would advise is actually to start saving towards the deposit. So instead of thinking this 5,000 can't get me anything, let's put a scenario together if you're able to save. And I know times are hard now. To just being very straightforward today in this environment where we are, 5,000 is quite low. But if there's a way to save, depending on any extra income sources that you may have, I would advise, because today, living in the US for a while, if I wanted to get something done, I'm not going to rely on that single salary. I would have to find other ways to get other jobs.
Thank you. Can we give a round applause. Multiple streams of income.
I mean,
multiple. Thank you, Angela.
I remember working 2 or 3 different jobs because I wanted to save up to buy a pair of shoes. Or when prom was coming, I remember my mom saying, you know, let's find ways to get this money, but I knew that the prom dress was too expensive, so I got an extra job to get this done. So for me, yes, the one salary of 5,000 may not be sufficient. It may cover the basic expenses that I have for the month. I would now find a way to get another 5,000 somewhere else that I can work for and then save that up to get a deposit of 30,000 or 40,000 and then start a payment plan with Global. Gradually, again, affordable housing for me is the next objective. I know when Mr. Fraser started, he was doing affordable land options. My objective really is to look at how do we bring the cost of housing down? How do we get access to land that's going to be easy to finance? And how do we increase the term of financing? Because this is the only way you can afford to get a payment plan of $3,000 a month if you can pay it over 20 years. Then you can get it over a low payment plan. So for me, these are the things I'm working on at Global. But I always want to just add, if you have something, just come to our office. Because there may be something else that is not within a gated community that I can cater for. There may be a solution we can work on, just customized just for you single-handedly. So I would say just be open. And I think someone wants to add something.
Yes, Soma.
Yeah. on that same thing, for me, for example, I think my first property was inherited, so I was extremely privileged. But when it came to beyond that, I had to think creatively because I was back to being on such a relatively low wage. In order to build, what I'm doing now, I cut down. So I think I buttress what you said about doing multiple jobs and multiple streams of income. Very, very important. I mean, going through uni, I was doing 3 jobs at a time, and in holidays, adding a 4th. So I understand the absolute benefit of that. How about, we're in a community now. What are the options for people to buy as a community? We spoke about that with the bank loans previously, and I think it was that you can have, like, say 30 of us be split into 6 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 6. 5 groups of 6 people. How about 6 people bringing their wages together and holding each other accountable? Because I think the accountability is another thing. It's easy to let yourself down, and as a recovering people pleaser, I am trying my best to hold myself accountable first, and to be not less concerned about making sure I'm there for other people, but to be as certain about being there for the things I promised myself. Is that something that we could talk about? Maybe a little bloom.
So I actually have the bank lady here, so it makes it much easier. So there is a program where we can actually get a plot of land exclusively for this circle. So then the price is no longer at that higher rate. Okay?
Yes,
so what Global can do is actually source a bigger plot of land just for a community, and actually go to the bank, which she's going to have to back me up for this.
Yes.
And the bank would actually support this whole entire process, because then payments are going to now go through the bank.
Yeah.
So instead of paying Global directly, the bank will take care of buying that land.
Yeah.
And then individually, we would now go in and say, we have 30 people that are within this circle that want to have a plot of land. The bank can finance it through Global Properties, and we go back to the bank and make the payments to them directly. Whatever charges they may have, they'll put it forward. And the plot of land itself will be the guarantee. So there's no need for you to bring any kind of guarantee in place, because the plot itself, once it's leased, it's going to the bank as a guarantee. And once everybody finishes their payments, then the bank would now release the title, and then we would go to our legal people, and they would prepare the assignments for us, and then we would do a transfer individually based on the plot. So it's a matter of just agreeing to terms to say, as a community, what can we afford to do on a monthly basis? And once we establish that, we're now able to source out a plot exclusively just for the community itself. So it is possible, especially in partnership with the finance.
Yes,
definitely.
ladies,
Yes.
you hear that?
Well done.
Give it a round of applause. I think that is such a powerful place to close with, because I'm being reminded that we're a little bit behind time and it's getting late now. And I know Fatu, we talked about building wealth, but I'm just glad Soma touched on the part of getting multiple streams of income. As a woman, why are you comfortable having one stream of income? I mean, one stream of income is not sustainable. So we need to keep building. And one thing I also don't like is the notion that, oh, you jigen nga, you lay down they hustle I'm like, leave me to hustle for my money. I grew up with a hustler mom. I've seen her doing events. I've seen her doing car business. I've seen her being a seamstress. And she provided for me being a single mother where we lost my father. And I did not even feel that we lacked one bit. The private schools, everywhere, she did that. So she was able to do that because of the multiple streams of income. So now, why are we comfortable just having one job? I mean, even if you have a 9-to-5, do something. I'm always encouraging women to get into entrepreneurship. I left the 9-to-5 because it wasn't favorable for me anymore. The salary I was getting and the life I wanted to have or live wasn't matching. So I was like, at some point I will have to leave, Yes. and also, just to round off and close up, as you've heard from all of our beautiful panelists here today, when it comes to wealth creation, it's about personally branding yourself. It's about preserving what you're earning. We live in a generation of instant gratification. New iPhone 17 is out, pam, I have it. Just so who are we trying to impress? Who basically? So please, hell. Every hell I have to do here, Monday today, you know what I mean? So let's just learn to live within our means. Sometimes I have this saying that Jay-Z once said that if you can't afford something twice, don't buy it. I'm not saying about the little purchase, but maybe the big purchases, So it's good to live in your delayed gratification. There's nothing more beautiful than working towards something for a long time and finally achieving it. It's so beautiful. Yeah, so please, once again, we will now move on to the question and answer session because I know some of you might have questions. So I don't know where our MC is. If she could help us. Anyone that has questions, put your hands up. Okay, great. So now, MC, can you kindly take the mic to the audience for their questions? You have a question? Yeah, please.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Do I have to stand or I can?
The mic.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. First of all, okay. Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to seize this opportunity to congratulate Aminata for this amazing initiative. To say that I'm proud of you is definitely an understatement. You are doing very well and continue doing well. Rest assured that we are in it together. May Allah bless and put barakah in this work that you are doing. And I equally want to congratulate and thank your beautiful and brilliant panelists for their insightful deliberation. You guys are great, definitely. Actually, mine is not a question. I was supposed to be somewhere at this time. But one thing I want to attest here is that Aminata is a go-getter. Could you imagine for the past 1 week, Aminata has been constantly reminding me, direction, invitation. I told myself that, well, there is no way that I can miss this thing. So definitely keep up that momentum. It's just super great. I had a prior commitment, but because of her persistence, I have to be here. I don't have a choice. You are really doing well. Actually, I might be very limited when it comes to this topic of creating wealth because I'm a peace building practitioner. And I want to believe that we are supposed to be working hand in glove because without peace, we are just like salt. Our presence is not always recognized, but our absence tells everything else, isn't it? And you as entrepreneur or financiers are the greatest beneficiaries of peace. And I want to encourage you going forward. In fact, I and my team will be knocking at your doors. You have to be investing in our peace building efforts. Because you need it.
We love it. We love to collaborate.
You know, without peace and security, definitely. Nothing. The 2016 or 2017 impasse, you know, should be a reminder. The COVID, so definitely, I think we should be working together. But just to say that, I mean, I'm not surprised, Betuloma, because as the Wolof would say, Sunga today need, dangay jël 7 jiko yi, isn't it? And if you all know whose Ami's namesake is, you will agree with me. Her namesake is no other person than our activist of greatest time, our politician of greatest time, our mentor of greatest time, our educator of greatest time, our writer of greatest time, Mrs. Aminata Silasa. Right?
Thank you.
So, Madam Mrs. Amisila, I can say, was one of my mentors. As he stood there talking, I saw Mrs. Silla in her, you know. I could vividly remember whenever I give her a call to attend our meetings, Mrs. Silla will do that with passion. So, to be honest, I'm not surprised. At least Jelgasi saving Jikoi, which is really very, very, very positive. And I want to keep up that momentum. And I want to say that apart from being persistent, we are also meticulous, because I can imagine it's definitely very difficult, very, 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 you know, it's not easy. For instance, someone to be invited for an event and to be given the location to the extent of sending a video. I mean, you are meticulous. I mean, all those things speaks volume, you know. I really want to encourage you and to encourage all the ladies out here in whatever field that you are working. We are in together, because at the end of the day, we constitute 51% of the population, right? And 58% of the voter population. So meaning that we should be out there, you know, because nobody is going to talk on our behalf. Nobody is going to promote our dreams in our absence. So be it in the field of business or finance, in the field of politics, in the field of sports, you know, as women, you have to strive in whatever you are doing, you know. So I want to encourage you and to tell you that, you know, we are in it together. We're going to give you support in whatever form that is going to take. We're going to support you. And this goes out to all the sisters or all the queens here. We might be working in different areas, but be rest assured that at the end of the day, what matters is the Gambia. We are all working towards the development of our country, and nobody else here will come and develop our country for us. Just in the past 2-3 weeks ago, we saw what a lady like you has done. Fatim is a pace setter, you know. So I want to believe that, and we pray that you people will even surpass Fatim, because you have all what it takes to do that. So good luck in this job.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. Thank you so much, Auntie Salama. Thank you. Is there anyone else with a question? MC, help us pass the mic, please. Any questions for our panelist, queens?
Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Alaikum salam.
I have a question.
Yes.
And the question is, how those financial discipline, setting boundaries, and then having principles help in building wealth as a woman? Because we know in the society that we are today, like we have so many stereotypes when it comes to women. Like a woman should not be this, a woman should not be loud. You are a woman, why are you going for so many dreams? Like you have to be at one place. So how does you setting boundaries, you having principles and having financial discipline help? Because we know sometimes
women are great. They have the talent, they have the ideas. But because they cannot say no, because of the way we are brought up with the cultural mindset, some women cannot excel. Because we have seen business women whom you know that they are now stuck. They cannot move forward because maybe, just maybe, they got married and then they think, okay, the entire family's responsibility is on me, and now they cannot focus on their business. So I would love each and every one of them to answer this question.
Each and every one of them?
Yeah. So
okay.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, beautiful queen.
I think she touched on something I really, really wanted to say.
Yes.
Which is the dependency ratio in this country.
Yes.
Yes, we grow up feeling dama sohla barke. So mayut ki do am ñaan. This is my uncle. Like, you understand? I grew up in a family where I had an uncle who was providing for everyone in my family. Be extended and close family. He'll get his brother's wives, pay school fees for their children. Even naming ceremonies he would organize. So I feel as a woman, you should be able to make sure that dependency ratio shouldn't move you from the responsibility you have on yourself as a person. Yes, it is good to give, it is good to provide, but please give yourself that 5% that would build the future you would want tomorrow. Because as Jilan was saying, they have packages for everyone. But then if you are taking your 20,000 salary, I would say, which is a bit decent, you wanna give your mom 5,000. Most women give allowances to their mom, which is good. But once you give allowances to your mom, are you keeping an allowance for yourself? You understand? For you to be able to save up, like you said, to be able to buy a plot of land at Global Properties. So please, that dependency ratio, we really need to talk about it. I really want one of you guys to please help us talk about it, because women forget it. Yes, we make sure we are providing, but are we providing for ourselves for the future we are trying to build? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. That's something I like to call black tax. We all know, maybe our sisters from North Carolina State cannot relate, but we all know here in Africa, everyone, whatever you make, you have something that's due back to the family. And I would like to call it black tax. So one of you can take it, only you want to take it? Okay.
Thank you for that question. One thing that all women, I think, have in common, all over the world, doesn't matter if you're white, black, whatever you are, is that we're nurturers. And we have this superhero belief that there's nothing that we can do. It's just in our nature as women to nurture and provide. And I find it that we put ourselves last a lot. I'm taking myself as an example, my mom as an example, even my daughter as an example. She has something, she's like, Mommy, no, you take it. So I'm like, no, you have it. She's like, no, you have it. You know, it's okay to put yourself first, because as women, because we're nurturers and we're dependent on, if you put yourself last and you're in a position where you can't even help, people are still going to come for you for help. You're still that person that's supposed to be able to solve everything. You're supposed to be able to know everything. So I think having that boundary, first of all, for your question, boundaries are important. In setting boundaries is understanding that you put yourself first. It's not selfish. It's also understanding that you have needs. And then if you are not okay as a woman, I don't know how you can take care of everybody, because everybody latches and depends on you. So you need to have that independence where you're able to take care of you regardless. You save for a heyday, rainy day, things happen sometimes, and then you don't have anyone to fall back on, especially if you're perceived as a strong woman. They're like, oh, she got it. Sometimes you don't got it and you need help. So you have to be strong in all seasons, and one of those is putting yourself in a position where you're structured, and then you always have to have a backup plan no matter what. Every day is not going to be rosy. Things happen that you don't plan. You need to be able to depend on yourself regardless. Have that boundary as well. Gambia, I think we don't discuss our financial situations, even with our spouses, our family, because everybody has this facade that you want to make sure everybody feels like you're good, you're okay, and sometimes you're not. And regardless whether you can't or not, you feel like, if I don't do it, they're going to think I'm in a bad place, I'm a bad person. Sometimes you really shouldn't really care what people think, but you should make sure that you're okay. Yeah.
Thank you so